when there is a war and change of system, few heads must rule.
But please, in future, don't come back. We have fought. I think in my own assessment and in the assessment of anyone that is here will genuinely, if you're genuine in this struggle, you will know that we have done what we need to do. At this point, if you want to be truthful to yourself, not lying to yourself, the only solution is peace.
Our point was the solution, not peace, bro. You see, the problem is people are too emotional about this thing. Both Fubara and Wike have maintained from the outset that I cannot, in good conscience, support both. I can give my commentary. Okay, Wike shouldn't have been the godfather and try to usurp the authority of the state because now it's Fubara's turn, is the governor and all that, allow him to, run his thing. But at the same time, like, this guy was not even out of who you would say would be the normal succession of Wike. Okay, so while Wike was trying to bring him on board, go against the normal norms, use his power to make, I won't say rig the primaries, but to make the primaries favor this guy. I mean, what were people doing? People were not talking. Okay, so he did that with this guy. This guy is one of his boys. Obviously, whatever shenanigans Wike was doing in River State, this guy would have been privy to it. At no point when this guy was working with Wike, at no point did he say, oh, I think we should follow the Constitution. I think we should not do this. I think we should try and do that.
I didn't say.
So, I don't know.
That there is no price that is too big to pay. Yes. I meant it. And I'm still ready to follow you to the end. Nobody can take away the role my other played. That's the truth. Yeah, we might have our differences that led to this, but nobody here will say he doesn't know the role the man played. Nobody will say he doesn't. Nobody can miss away.
Okay, so you know the role he played, but you decided to go after him. That to me, like, I don't understand. I can't explain away how you are a victim of your own stupidity because you knew the role he played. You didn't wake up yesterday to know that he played certain role in installing you as the governor of River State. I mean, let's get it straight. So this is not new. The role he played is not new. That's part of the factor that you should have put in place while considering your fight and all-out battle against your so-called godfather.
The risks he took. Yes, at the point we had our differences. And if today there is need for us to settle, please, anyone who genuinely believe in me should understand that it is the right thing to do. Look at the projects that we initiated. Big Road has been abandoned. Look at other things that we initiated. Without this crisis, by now I know where we have been. We know the progress we have recorded. We know areas that would have developed these things better than what it is today. So there is need for this space. That is the truth. Like I said, it's heavy, it's bitter, but we must.
At the end of the day,
yeah.
In order to solve the whole structure of the state, okay? And yeah, I mean, it has technically two plus more years, okay? No, it's not even 2 plus more, right? This is already July. So yeah, technically it has 2 more years. and he had better get back to business and get things going. Okay, like I don't know why you would pick a fight that you knew that it was evident from day three. Okay, maybe day one you felt like okay, fine, you had some stuff. Day two, what happened? Day three, what happened? I mean, this guy literally went to the state assembly and destroyed the place. I don't even understand. It's crazy. It's really, really crazy. And then he started saying, yeah, these people here, they have floating because of me. Let me see if I can get the stuff. Oh, they are floating because of me and all of that. It's crazy. What's it called again? Like, oh, they're nothing.
Let me say it here. The young people, those group of men who claim that are assembly members, are not assembly members. They are not existing.
Wait, let me
I want it
just
to
give
be
you
on
some,
record.
okay?
I accepted that peace accord. I accepted that peace accord to give them a floating. That's the truth. There was nothing in that peace accord that's a constitutional issue. It's a political solution to a problem. And I accepted it because these were people that were eating in my house. These were people that have helped pay their children's school.
We can also help him, right? In case we forget that one. We can help him to become governor. We can took him like, okay, you be the next one, right? I mean, Godfatherism things, right? And that was what happened. So I don't know what he's talking about, but
when I wasn't even a governor. So what is the thing there? Yeah, we might have a division, but I believe that one day we could also come together. And that was the reason I did it. But I think it's according to a time when I need to make a statement on this thing.
And he did make a statement. He did make a statement, okay, and he went all in, right? If you're going all in, you should be able to know where you're going to end, okay? You don't fight a battle without you having a plan. And unfortunately, that's what's really happening in politics now. You see everybody just shouting, everybody trying to form an opinion, everybody trying to figure out like they are the best thing that ever happens to Nigerian politics. And then they get into the ring and then they cannot deliver. They're still trying to figure out what's going to happen to Peter Obi right now. Because dude is losing the remaining structure that he has. Okay? So that was what happened. So at the end of the day, they did make up. Let me see if I can get that. Fubara and Wike. So I think they were even dancing. Someone was going to say he's not going to follow. See them here, right? Oh, yeah. So now today I joined the Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, His Excellency, my boss, right? His boss. You know, some Enzen Wike and other dignitaries at the funeral ceremony of this. So now they're together now. The prodigal son is back home. Unfortunately, the money, they'll keep sharing the money. Because it was all about money and power. Okay? Unfortunately, that's the thing. He's going to be getting his cut based on the structure. You know, that's what this guy's always been saying, based on the structure. So now they're going out together. I hope they understand that life is transient, or whatever it's called. And yeah, that's it. Nobody can take away the role. We've spoken about that. Look at them here. The guy looks like he's been held in hostage. It looks like he's held in hostage. Look at the face.
Together with the governor, and the governor also agreed to work together with all of us who are members of the same political family. Yes, just like humans, you have a disagreement, and then you also have a time to also settle your disagreement, and that has been finally concluded today, and we've come to report to Mr. President that is what we have agreed. So for me, everything is over, and enjoy everybody who...
Everything is over, meaning he kotoed already. I'm hearing that there's not going to be second term for the guy. I mean, obviously, he's a loser. So, like, he's a loser, unfortunately, because, yeah, it was just too, like, I'm for anyone who wants to, like, be the governor and take away the structure from the presiding governor. But again, what stuff are you made up of? What stuff are you made up of? Like you opened yourself to unnecessary fire, unnecessary enmity with Wiki, because in your mind you felt, oh, they told you have the structure, you have the everything. Oh, do the same thing that Wiki, did to Amechi. But you were not well grounded. Okay?
Believe to work with us, to also work together with everybody. That there's no more acrimony, there's nothing to say.
Well, I don't believe that, though, but it is what it is.
So thank God. For me, it's a day we have to thank Almighty God.
For me, it's
oh my God,
very important that this day has come to be. What we need for the progress of Rivers State is peace, and by the special grace of God this night, with the help of Mr. President,
the video is so
agreements.
Man, this video is just too poor.
Peace has returned in Rivers State. We'll do everything within our power to make sure that we sustain it this time around. Thank you.
We do everything in our power to make sure
Regards
you sustain.
Fubara and Wiki, the truth is, they will always settle their fights. In the first
This guy was actually piling him on. Was telling him that he has to go on. Just do that. Maybe this is who you are. You are the man. You are the one in charge. This is that. Wicked did it to Amechi. It's your turn to do it to Wicked. And they were pushing the guy, and the guy thought he had arrived. And I'm like, this guy is a PDP guy. He doesn't look to me like somebody that is an hero or a freedom fighter. You understand? I'm like, but the obedience were behind him. This is not the problem with the obedience. They're easily tricked. They're too emotional. Like, you trick them and then they just fall for the trick. And then the obedience like, oh yeah, maybe this is the time. And then LP literally dropped their case against Fubara. So LP said this guy, that the election was not free and fair, but when Fubara started fighting Wiki, they removed their case and then they supported him. And I'm like, that's not how you build a party. It's not how you build a freaking party. But that was what happened. And again, that's their decision. I'm not an LP member, okay? And the party, I don't even know where the party is right now as we speak, but it is what it is. This guy was
about
pushing
the
it.
resource of the states. Now they've been able to unleash Fubara. It just shows that Fubara couldn't fight the hegemony, so he went on a wild goose chase. The same agreements
which you encouraged him to.
Maybe is what they agreed. Now I don't have the empirical facts. I don't like to talk in the blind, but in the dark. But probably it's that same agreement. It will not be more than yielding to your boss and all of that. You can see I think that's Amawule, the Speaker of the House, and the factions at which they fought. So all of them are singing Kumbaya today, and it's all over. For good measure, the question we ask Fubara is that, will you just now go ahead to join APC so that we just know that you have potted fully? Or, because I don't know or you still want to do this amorphous relationship?
No, he's not going to join. You don't understand. He's not going to join APC or PDP or whatever. Okay? He's where he is right now. I mean, you people should understand politics. He doesn't have a place in APC. What he's going to do is silently going to finish his tenure, whatever remains out of it. I don't even know if he's going to be able to do anything, because right now it's just a lame duck. It's just a rubber stamp. Okay? That's what Fubara is right now. Just a rubber stamp. He doesn't have anything like he doesn't even have the executive power, I'm sorry to say, because right now Wike eventually held on to his how many lawmakers? Super majority lawmakers. I think Fubara only had 3. And out of that 3, I bet you 2.5 of them have already joined Wike. And they're now regretting that they stood with the guy.
Your boss, Wike, does. That is one leg in, one leg out. In the end, this was not about the Rivers people. So the delusion.
It was never about the Rivers people. It was about power, control, okay? Power, control. That was it all. That was what it was all about. Power, control, and all those other stuff. Okay? Who holds the structure? Who becomes the perennial leader? As of yesterday, as of today, as of this evening, is still Wike.
That they are trying to put forward and say, oh, this is about peace. It was not about the Rivers people. It's about both of them having an innate agreement. Things went south. And then Wike flexed his muscle. Obviously, in this, he came out winners because he had more might. And he was able to set Fubara straight. And they are on the line on the part of this, their own private agreement. All of this, see, don't deceive yourself. Politicians, when they fight, it's never about you, the people.
Yeah, but you were telling Fubara they should move on. You should give Wike the Amici treatment. I mean, the stuff is there. It's there. It's there. And I'm like, at the end of the day, okay, the people will still suffer. So what could have been done? Number one, this is what I feel should have been done. Wike sits down, understands the structure of the states, understands its power, and when he's ready to strike, he strikes knowing that he was going to win. If you're in a battle and you don't know who is going to win, then you better don't start the battle. Okay? Don't just start. Don't just start, because now you open yourself, to ridiculous amounts of enemy. But anyway,
your prospects in life.
So let me see what people are saying. It's just
it's just like 1 or 2 line items.
Let me see what people are saying. So no second time for the guy. Yeah, there won't be any second time. I don't expect any second time for him. Sure about that, bro. Oh, okay. This was happening now. They've settled since April. This announcement was supposed to be June 12th, but somehow shifted. Okay. I really hope that Nigerian politics will abandon godfatherism and embrace people-oriented goals. The primary beneficiary should be River State people. Okay. I also hope so. I hope one day we would leave that. But even when we abandon godfatherism, I don't know. There's still in politics everywhere. Okay, in politics everywhere, there is always that possibility. Okay, see them working together here. Hey God, hey Nigeria, my God, it is well. It is what it is. Yeah, it is what it is. It was gone. But that's power. That's power, raw power for you. That's power. If you don't understand it, then don't just delve into it. Yeah, this was what I was looking for this. This was the... I will never follow you, don't see me I will never follow you to see Wike. I will never follow you to see Wike. Dude, I'll never follow you to see Wike. Okay, we'll see how that goes for you, but Nigerian politics is just crazy. Like this, I think this is it. Sorry about that.
Fathers of fathers, elders they need to protest. What God comes around, you can't take a habit. You didn't amend it to get their duty to you. Why are you crying for God's sake? You must see what I'm going to do because this step belongs to us. You have finished the tenure and go and rest. Different people have said no for yes we have a governor and we're going to stand by Fubara. I want to assure our people, nobody should be afraid. There's no judgment stopping the election on Saturday. The police has said the right answer, so want to call the commissioner of police, whether the incoming or the outgoing commissioner of police, they should better stay on their own because they never go to the system. We know our youth, our women, our men. Fathers of fathers.
That's it. That's it. Need to know what happens to his political career. Now they're gonna find something for him, or possibly he just stalls where he is. Okay, that's just it. Anyway, that's that about Fubara. What's this? Yeah, that's that about Fubara, and it's just crazy. And again, one other thing I needed to talk about this week was the issue with Peter Obi. To be honest with you, I really don't know what Peter Obi was looking for in that crumbled building. Okay, I really don't know what he was looking for in that crumbled building. I waited a while. I just needed to understand what was happening because There were a lot of stories here, okay? Some were saying, oh, it wasn't for Peter Obi's brother. Some Peter Obi's camp was saying it was Lagos State because he's in politics. That's why they're going after him. So we had all of those stories, and then Peter Obi went there, started ranting, you know, the usual Obi in his black. Yeah, I don't know what to make of it, to be honest with you, because I don't know what to make of the demolition. Obi's brother property. Apparently, let me see. Now it says Lagos State governor was not responsible for the demolition of that property. Peter Obi lied on social media to attract people. Now this guy, okay, whatever it tells you, you need to fact check, okay? Because he's an APC stalwart, like he's an APC extremist APC fan. So Obi lied on social media to attract public sympathy and incite the tribal war. I don't think he was inciting any tribal wars. I mean, he was just frustrated. And to be honest with you, yeah, you'll be frustrated if it was you. And that's again part of it comes with the arena, okay? Peter Obi, it comes with the arena. When you enter a symposium or you enter a venue where somebody's delivering a paper, okay? More often than not, or you enter a ceremony, everybody stops, gives you the ovation. They're happy with you. You're always there. You're in the news. You're always trying to, do things. People said, well, you love Nigeria, but I have an issue because I'm not sure you have the capacity. Again, you can't be taking all those accolades and all that and not expect this. So it's part of the territory. Now, should they demolish the property? Should they, destroy the property? I would say yes if there's a probable cause and if it has gone through the judicial system with no fear or favor, okay? But again, this is what I'm saying. This dispute was not something that happened yesterday. This land dispute is personal issue between Peter Obi and the other individual, but Peter Obi politicized it, making it look like a political attack by the APC. So apparently, it was not the APC. We saw the judgment paper. It had nothing to do with the APC. And again, people are questioning that, is this truly a Peter Obi's endeavor? Okay? I don't know. Is it a way at which Peter Obi uses his family to also go around the laws by moving stuff around? Politicians do that. Those are the questions that is being asked. But let me see again. Let me just go back one step because I saw that it did make a video. Okay, let me see.
You can see things that are here. Nobody could remove anything. Is that how I come to work? They just came suddenly, started demolition. If my brother didn't have a brother like me.
What does that mean? My brother didn't have a brother like me. Because my brother doesn't have a brother like me.
They would. He wanted to enter here. They said, no, you can't enter. We have court injunction. What about court injunction that allows somebody to enter into another person's property? They freeze him for it.
What is it talking about, bro? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? My brother, did he allow him enter the property? See, I'm so sorry that they had to bring down that property. And it's possible, it's true, that the reason why the property is down because, now, not because he's a politician or so, but because it may be true that he's been targeted. I'm not naive, I'm not a baby. I understand how this thing works, that there is always power play. Because there might have been some other ways to go about it. There could have been some other settlement. I don't have the full case. Nobody has the real full case. There's just speculations and all that. But that being said, if you were actually in the right, there are ways for you to address all your grievances. This is not the way. Again, you just standing in here, trying to make a video and say, if you didn't have a brother like me, that in itself is even putting you away.
Nobody could remove anything. Is that how I come to work? They just came suddenly, started demolition. You know, if my brother didn't have a brother like me, they would. He wanted to enter here. They said, no, you can't enter. We have got injunction. What about court injunction that allows somebody to enter into another person's property? They shoot him for removing his things and everything, and demolishing everywhere. What about court injunction is that?
May God help us in this country. That was what he said. So, you know what they call karma? You know what they call karma? Karma means what goes around comes around. Okay? I mean, that's the thing. What goes around comes around. Apparently, Peter Obi actually did something worse than that during his own time as a governor. If I learned that he actually gleefully demolished somebody else's property. He willfully did that because that other guy was supporting his opposition. And there's that video, you know, that he willfully did that, supported other people. Let me see, there's a full video after the whole thing.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Let me see this one.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah? Just yesterday, just on Sunday, I came back from the US. And my younger brother told me,
sorry, the volume looks low.
And I saw him yesterday on my way to Abuja. He said to me that the land, the company land, Nest Food Limited, the land they own for over 10 years, probably over 15 years, belonging to them, that some people just jumped into it and said they're the owner, that they have cut injunction, and that they're about to start demolishing it. I said, okay, we'll go to court. That there won't be no issue without having proper documentation and everything. But yesterday evening, he called me, said they removed the roof. They brought 3 tractors, 2,000, they're demolishing everything as fast as they can.
Wow.
And I said, no. I'll leave Abuja this morning. Let me go there personally. He said all effort for them to enter there, they've been refused even enter. And they've chased out the people who are living there. So there's nothing they can do. That's how I came from Abuja. We first started this morning from Abuja, drove to this place, asked the people, what authorized you to demolish? They said I've cut injunction. That the owner gave them. I said, who is the owner? They said they don't know the owner. He just gave them. I said, who is the owner? They said they don't know the owner. Can I see the cut injunction and see who the owner is, the person who is now claiming his shield? They gave me.
Bro, yeah, so that's another thing. You know, if you say go to court, people will be like, oh, that's the issue line. People will say go to court because they know that they can buy their way in court. But again, the story doesn't add up. Okay, the property belongs to Next Food Limited, and I know that Next is part of the chain of companies that Obi has. So, are you sure the property really belongs to the brother, or the property belongs to Obi himself? I don't know. Obi demolition court can rule against persons unknown. Remote schools Obi. Yeah, thank you for fact checking. The property is falsely came to belong to his brother and finding me correct. May Peter Obi not set Nigeria on fire with his lies. Yeah, so civil dispute, this was the name. Not Peter Obi's brother. All what can see how Peter Obi is whipping up sentiment and inciting the masses against the government. I don't know why this guy is tweeting at UN and BBC breaking news, but it is what it is. People have lamented the unlawful demolition of his brother property in Lagos State. It was just a little bit of territory here and there, but it is what it is. The final story for the day. APC Ganduje resigns. Let's see what happened. Yeah, it's plausible. I believe Tinubu must have promised Ganduje a big appointment just to convince him to resign as APC chair. So this guy, Ganduje, been the APC chairman for a while now, and I think he has really, now you might not like the APC, okay? Let me just put that one there. You might not like the APC, and I'm not talking about good or bad here. I'm just talking about effectiveness. This guy has successfully been able to build the APC's brand, even places where you never thought it would be. Look at what has happened, defection all across the country to the APC, most especially from the LP. I don't care if anybody comes to APC from the PDP. I mean, it's the same set of corrupt people, right? But LP, that we thought, oh, this was the new thing. The new Nigeria is POC. I mean, people are defecting even from that. And I know the only reason why, what's his name again? OT has not defected is just because if he defects, then that's the end. That's the end. But again, he's come out to say, you know what, whatever Bola Ahmed Tinubu is doing, we're 100% in support of him. Abgas Soludo has said, you know what, we're endorsing the president at this point in time. These are the two parties that you could call maybe opposition, because PDP is not. But you have their people defecting, those that are not defecting are saying that, you know what, this is a vote of confidence. We have confidence in what you're doing and you're going to do it well. So this is what I think is happening. How Ganduje was forced to resign. I'm just seeing this. Wow, let me see. This was just today. Indications have been matched that Ganduje was compelled to resign as national chairman of the APC. Wow, I didn't even know that. I thought and again, Kwakwaso and Ganduje, they are not really best of friends. They are political enemies, okay? So let's just put that out there. Former governor reportedly tendered his resignation, citing health reasons. We know how that works, okay? They said Ganduje is a permutation ahead of 2027 election. Sources confirmed that the head of one of the security agencies was at around, well, I don't know if this is true. Oh, really? So it's saying that, let me see. The source disclosed, you can see this. This is just too tiny. The source, I'm going to read that, okay? The source also disclosed that a governor from the Northeast who has been very active in the party and a prominent politician from the Northwest who is very close to the president visited Ganduje yesterday, apparently to console him. Meanwhile, Ganduje led members of the NWC on the condolence visit. Yeah, we knew all of that. Regarding the motive behind, okay, look at it. First says that the leader of the Kwasia movement, as Kwankwaso, is perceived to have long courted, was considering joining the opposition coalition led by Atiku Abubakar. They couldn't do that. You know why they couldn't do that? You know why? The guy had 1-point-something million votes in the 2023 elections. You cannot allow that to go. If he goes to Atiku, that's a big problem. So 2023 Nigeria election result. Let me just check that for you. President's election. Okay, yeah, it's gonna be president election. So this is what happened. See? This was 6.9. Tinubu just entered in like very stuff. Very minute. This is a big stuff, but I'm also saying, imagine combining this 1.4 to the 6.9. What you've got, if you do that, that's 8.5. So you cannot, in any circumstances, allow this guy to go to this guy. Okay? And now there is also a discussion about this guy coming together. That's gonna be crazy. I don't know what's gonna happen in 2027, although I know the map kind of favors Tinubu the reforms, which is very important and critical. Critical has put people on the edge. So there's a sympathy to these guys because of that. Okay, so that being said, they needed this guy to join Tinubu, and that was really what happened. That's just it. So what do we do, to make that happen? Is that we have to. What they had to do was to call Ganduje into the APC, and I guess that was what really happened. That's my own theory, okay, because there was no indication that I was going to resign anytime soon. And again, I don't really like the guy, but I think he's been an effective chairman. They're going to give him something big, okay? Wow. Okay, so that's it. Let me see if there's any video that I did run. Okay. I don't know what you guys think. Okay, so I think we've seen this. Let me see. Yeah, it was this one.
There's DIY, and there's doing it yourself.
All right, gentlemen, beautiful one. All right, let's move straight to our next conversation. It was not only surprising because no one saw it coming, but also shocking in a country where public office holders hardly resign. The national chairman of the All Progressives Congress APC, Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, has formally resigned. In his resignation letter submitted to the party's National Working Committee, Ganduje cited health reasons as part of his decision to step down. No one saw it coming. I mean, did you see it coming?
Well, before it happened, it was in the news that he was going to do it.
Yes.
I mean, earlier today.
I heard about it.
Okay, you heard fear.
Earlier today.
Oh.
No, I mean, it was even in the news.
Yeah, it was in the news.
That he was going to resign. But, of course, he said he was resigning on health ground. Well, speculation. There are people saying, okay, in fact, I've even heard that, okay, there are allegations of financial impropriety, not confirmed.
Okay.
Some people say, okay,
possible.
He handled the Gombe incident.
Okay.
People will say all sorts of things. But the man resigned. But what I do not expect his resignation to have a significant negative impact on the APC.
On the party.
Sorry about that.
Why am I saying this? His immediate predecessor, Abdullah Adamu, who did not ab initio support the president. If you remember, when the president made his Emilio Court declaration in Abeokuta, he kicked against it. Abdullah Adamu kicked against it. And we also know how he was trying to bring in...
did he try or he did?
He spoke against it. Now, I'm talking... He was trying to bring in Lawan.
Yes.
Eventually, he resigned. And APC is still standing.
Okay.
So I do not... Well, people come and go. Institutions must be very strong.
Sure.
As things stand now, I know that APC is a very strong party. It's a very strong institution.
Yeah,
so I do
they're
not
very
expect
strong.
Ganduje's resignation to
have an impact on the party.
Yes, on the party.
I mean, your thoughts here?
No, but I think after 2023, when this party came, I mean, when this current the position was, when he came and he visited us, he was quite very influential and of course very relevant in the manner of speaking. But I think over these intervening months, his relevance began to wane That's the way I look at
Okay.
it. It was hardly in the news and all that. Even some very important things that Ganduje's name wasn't there anymore. That, as you mentioned, you made a reference to the
So maybe that's the health issue, right?
Gombe issue,
yes.
about they didn't mention the name of those and all that. It was also a kind of a minus to his leadership style of open, maybe, well, I could say open bias to a certain section of the So maybe the president also wasn't very comfortable. And then somebody also said, because I discussed with a friend of mine when I used to call when they said, okay, because we heard about it about 3 hours before I even came here. That it was going to, but I didn't know we were going to be discussing it, right? And that again, somebody also said that even the continuous closeness of what's the other man in Kano, the NPP man.
Okay,
Kwankwaso is getting very close to the president.
They need him, that's why.
So a lot of things are...
They need Kwankwaso, okay? It's a matter of what you bring to the table. It's a matter of what you bring to the table. And they cannot allow Kano State to sleep. They can't. It's going to be catastrophic. So right now, and again, the APC, which is the government in power, they want to win decisively come 2027. And for you to win decisively, there's a lot that needs to be done. Okay, so that's why you have all of those. Now, is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Honestly, I don't have a clue. I don't. But it is what it is.
You know, banded here and there. But again, as he said, the days to come, we will all see. But
yeah, we shall know what happens when when the day to come comes. Yeah, but that's just it. It is what it is. Let's see. Oh my God. I saw this tweet from Peter Obi yesterday, and like I don't know. I don't know if I really it's not as if I hate Peter Obi, but something that he does, like people be like, I know his fans sees no fault in him. It's fine. You're allowed to. It's your life, it's your decision, it's your emotions. But again, this guy, Kayode Ogundamisi, Peter, change your handler. No, like you don't even need an expensive handler. Like this guy comes out, he tweets gibberish. Exactly. You have followers that can, like hold on to this guy or whatever it is. This is like, look at what he wrote. Let me even read it. Ganduje's timely challenge to leaders. So Ganduje resigned, right? I just read a news report that the national chairman of the ruling party has resigned from his position, citing health challenges. Number one, this could have just been a get out of the jail card so that people won't start asking him what's happening. It could have been an arrangement between the powers that be and Ganduje. I must commend Dr. Oh, God. I must commend Dr. Ganduje for prioritizing his health above all else. With his health reportedly in decline, it is both wise and honorable to step aside, knowing that he may no longer be able to render the level of service required by the party, the people, and the nation. By this exemplary action, Dr. Ganduje has thrown a challenge to other leaders who, due to health-related issues, are no longer able to deliver optimally. I sincerely hope they take a cue from him. Oh my God. What the hell is he talking about? The challenges confronting our nation today requires leaders who are not only competent, but also physically and mentally fit. Leaders with the capacity and agility to respond decisively and promptly to pressing issues. And this crucial point and difficult time, we can no longer afford leadership defined by medical tourism, long holidays, or absenteeism caused by age-related ailments. These things are taking a serious toll on our development. I mean, this would have been a very, very good advice to who else? Biden. President Joseph Biden. But I digress. May God Almighty consist any Nigeria is possible perfectly lead. These guys are APC's mouthpiece. These guys, I don't even know how the algorithm brings them up. Maybe because I follow them. Our party chairman resigned peacefully. No court case, no social media bans, no street fighting, no derogatory statement. This is unlike your useless party, who you have two active party chairman and dubious NWC. They're going to claim that it's the APC that is destroying that party. Now, if you think this was worse, he tweeted again today. Let me see. Just let me see. Wait for it. What does this mean? Oh my God. What is this? I'm struggling with my senses. This is not how you start something, a sentence. This is not even how you are a president in tomorrow. You're a president tomorrow. I'm struggling with my senses to understand what is happening to governance in this country. What I have seen and witnessed in the last 2 years have left me in shock about poor governance delivery. An apparent channeling of energy into politics and satisfaction of the elites, while the masses in our midst are languishing in wants. And then it goes on and 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 on. Bro, this is very obvious in difference. The suffering of Nigerian poor, which should urgently be reversed. One had expected the president to be asking God, this is interesting, for extra hours in a day for the challenges. But what we see is a concentration of effort in the 2027 elections and on satisfying the wealthy, while the mass poor continues to multiply in number. Finally, I'd like to let our leaders know one thing, that the God has given resources of this country and it belongs to all, not a few. The time has come to put a stop to this drift before it consumes all and focus on pulling people out of poverty. Yeah, this should. Damn. What? What? This is crazy. Well, that's just it. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. I don't know what you guys think, but man, it's crazy. Change your handler. She's making you look silly. And yeah, she is. I forgot one more thing. The VAT. The VAT stuff, the VAT stuff was great. Yeah. It's crazy. I missed that. Let me see. Tax bill. earlier signed into law 4 historical tax and fiscal bill at the Aso Villa, making a new dawn in Nigerian economic governance. This new law simplifies our tax regime and delivers Nigeria first major pro-people tax cut in a generation. So, 4 laws: the Nigerian Fair Taxation Act, the Nigerian Tax Administration, the Nigerian Revenue Service, and the Joint Revenue Board. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let me see if I have the highlight of the tax stuff. Now, what are the highlights? The Tinubu tax reform bill are a bold step towards a fairer and more efficient tax system with clear benefits for low-income earners, small businesses, and Nigerian long-term fiscal health. They are just critical, okay? Critical issues like outdated laws, multiple taxation, and low revenue generation, which are vital for development. However, regional opposition, implementation challenges, that's yeah, that's cool. But then it's good. I mean, the benefits, these are the benefits. The simplified tax law. They're targeting 18%, so people are gonna be paying more tax. Sorry about that. But that's what it is. If you really want the country to grow, then you pay more taxes. If you want to be able to hold your leaders accountable, maybe you need to also pay more taxes so that you can have the mouth to talk. I'm just saying. Digitalization and institutional reforms enhance transparency and efficiency. Reducing corruption and boosting investors' confidence. Support for vulnerable groups. So low-income earner, I think if you're earning less than 200 as a family in a month, you're going to be exempted. Yeah, let me see. The key highlights, this is it. Sorry. Yeah, if you're earning 800 or less annually, you're exempted from personal income tax. Small businesses with turnover below 50 million, you're exempted from company income tax. Withholding tax and benefits around 90% of Nigeria businesses. This is good. This is really good. It's gonna help our small businesses, to be honest with you, and they would not really be thinking too much about, tax issue. There's also exemption on vital goods and services, Ontario invites which is good. Take a stand that's really cool. Discovering our home. That's really, really cool. What else? Yeah. So this is also in the bag. This is also in the bag. Let's see. What you need to know about this. Let's
to what we saw today. We're all witnesses to that journey that started in earnest in September. The twists and turns, the up and downs, the arguments, the debates. It pervaded the entire country, from government houses to Northern Governors Forum to Governors Forum, even to the National Assembly, the public hearings that held. But of course, we thank Mr. President who said, put it out there for Nigerians to debate. Yep. We have seen robust democracy and constitutionality at work, and that's why today happened. Mine is just to make sure that these men are here. To my immediate left is Honorable James Faleke, he's a ranking member, he's the Chairman House Committee on Finance. Next to him is Distinguished Senator Sani, 313.
Okay, we're not going to sit down here.
Don't ask me what that means. Is the Senate. I'm just trying to come to that, but I wanted to come from him.
Okay.
Which has now been recruited him on his birthday.
And then this
Mr. Taiwo Oyedele.
Taiwo, yeah,
has actually used to put us where we are today. Distinguished Senator and my father, Senator Sonny, the House Committee Chair on Finance. We thank you for your commitment, dedication. The generation unborn shall surely be grateful to you. And to my born, Honorable James Faleke, for your leadership, maturity in handling all these matters. We can't thank you enough. The whole Nigeria would definitely appreciate you. And to my lecturer, Prof. Prof, thank you.
So this was one of the top guys in PwC. That's Taiwo, right? Top guy. top guy, top G, at PwC, I believe. Yeah. Zacchaeus was also like this. Zacchaeus is an OAU graduate. I know of him. Okay. When I was in OAU, right? These are stars. That's one thing you also have to give to Tinubu. He knows how to recruit people that would work. He knows how to. He's got them.
For the intellectualism that you brought into this. After I've said that, we all know, because this is what we've explained during the course of this journey, that we have hold laws that we need to bring to bear to states that actually match the situation that we have in our country today. And the SA media said it, that before federal land revenue before 2 hours, today, by special grace of God, through the assent of Mr. President, we are now Nigeria Revenue Service, which is expanded scope to also focus on non-tax collection, increase efficiency, and actually match as a source, as the implementer of all other major tax that we have. For the basic benefits and questions and the real content of this law, I will yield shortly now to Mr. Taiwo to give you the rundown of himself. What you are about to see and our implementation schedule, the timing and the way we want to do it, just to have something for the press. And after that, I think our people, supervisor here, will now tell us what they expect from us and go forward what we should do. So
important because it took a different dimension from regional issues to religious issues, and those things are things Nigerians are sensitive about. An average leader would have just backed down. He kept encouraging us to say, let's keep doing it, it's the right thing. I do not take that for granted, and I thought I should put it on record. And I've said a couple of times, Mr. President did not dictate anything to us. He allowed us to do our work professionally, only asking us questions and providing guidance. I think that's a very important example of how to provide leadership. Another thing that Mr. President did, which is extremely important, was to say he wasn't looking for a committee that will advise and take photos and walk away. He said we have to stay the course and support the government to implement. And anytime I think about it and I look back, I say, imagine we had submitted a report that says we write Nigerian laws and we took photos and left. When it became very controversial, how would we have been able to deal with it? I think this model should be replicated for subsequent reforms, even in all the stuff, it has worked. Having said that, today is a very important day in the life of our country, and by extension in the life of our people. Nothing of this magnitude has been done in the history of Nigeria, pre or post independence.
Good one.
Today is the day that very holistic reform that we have been asking for, some of us have been practicing as professionals for more than 2 decades. And we seem to be speaking to ourselves, or nobody was listening. It became very frustrating. We see the potential of the country and what was possible, but we're being held down by laws that were anti-businesses, that were counterproductive all over the place. And having the courage to bring all of it together and put that reform through at this time is truly, truly commendable. And I'd like to say congratulations to all Nigerians. Now, these reforms are not about raising more taxes. I think people get it wrong. A lot of people, including analysts and commentators, will say, oh, where are they going to get the more taxes from? Nigerians are poor. This is exactly trying to relieve people of the burden of taxes. These tax laws, they are now laws, are pro-poor in particular. More than 1/3 of workers in both the private and public sector will now be exempted completely from PAYE. They will not have to pay personal income tax.
Good.
Small businesses, over 90% of small and micro nano businesses, we no longer have to worry about paying corporate income tax or charging VAT or even deducting withholding tax or paying PAYE for their employees. What this means is that there will be more money in the hands of the ordinary Nigerian to take care of their daily needs. In addition to that, these laws also provide what we call zero.
And when you make the tax code very, very relatable to people and easy to collect and also not too burdensome, people tend to pay more taxes. When you make it difficult and expensive, you know what people do? They go to hire lawyers. And that has worked across board. In the United States, the new, like the Trump tax law, Trump reduced the tax, but what happens? The economy booms, and then people get to pay more in terms of the amount at a lower rate, but because the businesses are expanding, then they pay more. So that makes a lot of sense.
Rate of VAT on essential consumption. What does it mean? It means any traces of VAT in food, in education, in medical and health care is now removed completely. So we should see prices of those items come down.
I hope so.
In addition to that, transportation, prices don't come down. Accommodation and housing is exempt from VAT. Our analysis, which was very clear, is that these items collectively account for more than 80% of where Nigerians spend their money. That's a huge relief for them. We also have provisions in those laws to help us improve efficiency. Efficiency in how we collect taxes, and also efficiency in the transparency of reporting the taxes we collect, which we expect should then be linked to how those taxes are utilized for the purpose of the people. This is really revisiting the social contract between the government and the people. In addition to that, these laws will promote Nigeria in terms of competitiveness. It's harmonizing the taxes that companies have to pay, reducing the burden of those taxes, and removing distortionary tax waivers and incentives. Because what has been happening is that if you are a very honest person doing your legitimate business and you don't know anyone, you will struggle.
You suffer.
Because your colleague or your competitor who is well connected gets all manners of waivers that you don't have access to. That has been taken care of. There is now transparent incentive regime, reducing discretion and subjectivity, and it's available to anyone once the conditions are met.
That waiver thing was one of the ridiculous stuff I ever heard of. We just go to Abuja, the president, and say, oh, we need to bring these waivers, waive taxes for us. Or we're going to do this, waive taxes for us. There should be equity.
We also have provisions that speak to wasteful incentive generally, including how do we address tax evasion. This is another very important point. If you have two people doing business, one person is paying their taxes correctly and honestly, the other person is evading their taxes and paying bribe wherever they can find anyone. What we are essentially doing is we are incentivizing the tax evader and we are discouraging the compliant taxpayer. That is not a sustainable way of building a society. These tax laws also address that, because it's going to make tax evasion now more expensive while simplifying voluntary compliance. This is how we can build a society we can all be proud of. Of course, if you allow me to continue, there are a lot of other issues that I'm excited to start talking about them. But I think what is most important is to remind ourselves that why this event of today is so important, the journey is just beginning. Writing the law, no matter how beautiful, no matter how transformative, no matter how innovative, means nothing if it is not properly implemented. So we are mindful of that. We are not going to relax. Mr. President has given us the charge that now is the time to move to implementation. And we are ready. We are prepared. It is not something we can do alone, even from the government side. It is something we have to do collectively. Private sector, public sector, civil society, professional bodies, tax consultants, everyone, including our international partners who mean well for Nigeria. This is the time to implement with sincerity, laser focus, and with purpose, so that when we look back in another 1 or 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years down the line, will say, yes, we came together as a people and did the right thing for our country.
Wow, that's cool.
Yes. Thank you very much. I think I will use this opportunity to extend the nation's appreciation to Mr. President for having the courage to first think of the amendments that he brought and also putting those bills as they are and bringing them to the National Assembly. When he brought these bills to the National Assembly, we know the uproars that those bills attracted all over the country, especially in the northern part of the country. And we looked at those bills carefully. We had stakeholders consultations. Even with those that were really kicking against these bills, we sat with them, we listened to them, we took what they brought, and we also gave them what we think about as a nation, so that this country can get something out of what we have done. And I believe that with consultations and the painstaking nature of the legislative processes that we've taken, I believe we are we brought out bills that seek the aspirations of Nigerians. And what are those aspirations, just as has been highlighted by the chairman of the Presidential Task Force? We consider the less privileged in terms of earnings and see that we don't add burdens on them. You will also recall that in this country, sometimes we have more than about 72 or 3 different kind of taxes. And all those taxes have been harmonized right from local government, state, and the national. And also, we did not just relent there. We looked at the bills as they brought them on how it will affect the oil and gas industry. We also look at how the export processing zones operate, especially where it will add comparative advantage to our local industrialists. So I think it's good for all Nigerians to look at what we have presented. And you know, laws are not static. Laws continuously are made to be amended, just as nature, as we are, we change every day. So also, whenever there is need for us to do any amendment to those bills, for the good interest of this country, I'm sure the National Assembly will do that. With this, I want to also extend the appreciation and the kind of cooperation we have right from the committee, the Presidential Committee, the FIRS, and even the presidency in terms of not interfering with what we were doing. We were given free hand and we did this thing painstakingly to the benefit of all Nigerians. And over time with the implementation, we will continue to do our constitutional role of oversighting the agencies to see that they are doing the right thing. And anywhere we also find out that the laws or the laws that have been signed have any defects, we are there to make an amend. With this, I think I will congratulate all Nigerians. Thank you.
Cool. That's it. Next one.
Well, thank you very much, gentlemen of the press. First, we can't thank Mr. President enough. I also want to join appreciating him for taking some of these bold decisions. Recollect that since he took over, he has taken 2 bold decisions. One, removal of subsidy, and this tax reform.
And then
when the tax reform was brought in the House, it was like a mission impossible. And we thank God with the cooperation of all Nigerians, including the governors. And of course, particularly from the House of Rep, I want to express appreciation to Mr. Speaker for allowing us to take our time to do the needful. I think that when the subsidy was removed, the Nigerians who felt the pain, we also realized that the subnationals, the states and the local governments, are now getting triple of what they used to get.
I hope they
I want to also say boldly that with this tax reform, which has no bearing with increase in taxes, it's just covering more loopholes and taxpayers. And then, of course, giving Nigerian Revenue Service, the capacity to use software, ICT, and all, so that all of us will be in the tax net, majority of us, rather than so that we can have our GDP to tax to be higher than what it is now. For me, I think that at the end of the day, by next year, when this thing starts to roll in, the subnationals again should be expecting an increase in their monthly revenue, which we know that it should be to the benefits of Nigerians at their various homes in local governments. All we can say is to say thank Nigerians, especially the media, for also giving us the coverage that he deserved during this process that we went through. It took us over 10 months to get to where we are. And
wow.
I'm sure.
That was impressive. Just 10 months to sign all those laws. And of course, there's going to be an amendment. But that was really impressive. I'm just wondering, okay, so major policy changes. Subsidy, the petrol, foreign exchange. You have that. You have the school loans and all of those. You have different things. The refinery, I don't even know where that is right now. Now you have the tax bill. I wish the National Assembly could also be as effective and innovative as Mr. President.
Sure, Nigerians will be better for it. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much. Please, we'll take, because
questions,
of 2 questions. Lasisi. I've called Lasisi. Anyone else? The ladies aren't asking any question today? Answered. Lasisi. Yeah, please, I take note of the fact that you said no questions, because very clearly the controversies are behind us.
What? What's this? Oh. Why wouldn't there be any question? What? Oh,
but since Lasisi wants to ask a question, we can take his question and then wrap up for the afternoon. Thank you.
Oh, the volume. No volume. Why wouldn't there be any question? I don't understand. These people work for us. They work for us. They work for the citizens. They should be allowed to ask questions. Oh, now they've muted all the mics. Okay.
Based on best practices globally, because when you have this kind of change, it takes time for all the stakeholder, participants, operators, and even the regulator to change the system. So with the magnanimity of the National Assembly, Mr. President, so the effective date will be January 1st, 2026 by the special grace of Almighty God.
Okay,
so we have full 6 months for both sensitization, planning, and also considering the fiscal year of the government. Because when you have this kind of change, it's not what you do mid-year. Because if the application of law is better, you start from the beginning of the year. So effective dates, by God's grace, will be 1st of January 2026. Thank you.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. More questions, bro. Okay, so that's it.
And the impact of these 4 tax reform bills, which have just become law following the assent.
Okay, yeah, that's it. I don't know. Yeah, it's crazy. But that's good. No questions. They went away. No, this is on hold news. Okay, that's cool. Okay, that's it. Let me know, guys, what you guys think.